Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. At gaya nung huli na mga nabanggit natin sa ating inawit, I have walked with God today. Nawa, ito yung makita rin natin na pang-araw-araw nating gawain na tayo ngayon matagpuan na naglakad at nakatagpo natin ng Diyos. At kasama nga sa pang-araw-araw na gawain at hindi lamang siguro sa weekends, kundi sa buong buhay natin ay narito ang hobbies and games. Yung mga bagay na ginagawa natin for recreation at para rin siguro mabawas yung ating stress sa buhay. So just a disclaimer, no, naituro ko po ang subject na ito sa Teen Talk sa Homeschooling Teens last year, 10 months ago. So I have just expanded it at unang expansion na siguro yung cover. Sa yung unang expand na ginawa ko. Okay, so to tackle, to start with our Sunday school, so let us give an observation muna that everyone has their hobbies. Lahat tayo merong hobby for sure. Lahat tayo siguro sa tala ng buhay natin ay naglaro din. At ako ay hindi rin naman, sabi natin, I'm just a normal person. Meron rin po akong hobbies at meron rin po akong games. Ayan. So lahat tayo merong games at hobbies at games. At ilan sa aking mga hobbies ay pagbabasa, paglalaro, pagkain, pagtulog. So, ayan. So, sample siguro, ito yung ginagawa ko nung medyo bata-bata pa ako, just to give you a hint. Okay, ayan. So, medyo na-drawing siya, medyo malabo lang, but only pencils. Hindi po ako marunong magkulay. Mas mahusay po sa akin ang aking anak sa pagkukulay. So, I would rather stick to pencil siguro. Hindi po para sa akin yung pagkulay. Okay, so ano po ba ang hobbies? Hobbies, sabi po sa Merriam-Webster, a pursuit outside one's regular occupation, engaged in, especially for relaxation. Narito po yung mga hobbies para daw mag-relax ang isang tao at ang iba't ibang klase o uri ng hobbies na meron tayo, reading literatures of various genres, writing poetry, or essays, or blogs, or even novels, illustrating, sketching, drawing, and even doodling, collecting different items of perceived value, listening to different music, podcasts, or yung audiobooks, watching movies, series, Netflix, or Disney Plus, or Amazon, at kung iba-iba pa, nakasama na dyan yung mga anime, cartoons, and other sports, yung panonood. At naroon din yung singing or playing musical instruments. So ito yung mga hobbies na ating ginagawa. And I believe na lahat tayo siguro, one way or another, meron tayong hobbies. Lahat tayo nag-fit dyan sa mga categories na yan. So now we move to games. Kung ito yung hobbies, ano naman ang games? Sabi rin again sa Merriam-Webster, games, a physical or mental competition conducted according to rules with the participants in direct opposition. So in short, nandoon na meron silang kalaro, na katunggalim, may paligsahan. So different kind or types of games include sports, computer games, yung ito siguro yung karamihan sa mga kabataan ngayon, at pati na rin yung tatawag na tabletop. So tabletop games, ito yung mga nilalaro on top of tables. So ito isang example ng ating tabletop games. Ayan. So nasa taas ng mesa, naroon may mga units, may mga sinusukat, may mga terrains, at pwedeng hit and miss. So depends on that. So those are very good games din na ating pwedeng gawin. So once again, no, kanina nakita natin na one way or another nagfi-fit ang bawat isa sa hobbies. Hindi ganito rin sa games. Nagfi-fit rin tayo one way or another sa games. So lahat tayo meron tayong hobbies and games. But there's a positive contribution. Hindi natin mapagkakaila na may positive contribution ang hobbies and games. Halimbawa, we can build friendships, lalo-lalo na kung pare-parehas within a group, yung ating hobbies and games. Expand natin yung ating vocabulary. We learn new words, we learn new things, terms. Improving our mathematics, bumibili siguro tayo sa pag-compute, natatansya natin na mas maayos, mas realistic kung ano yung mangyayari. And also, it teaches us in managing resources. Dahil isa nga sa element ng hobbies and games ay yung ating resources at tinuturuan tayo kung paano to properly and realistically manage our resources. And not only that, it hones our skills and talents, better art appreciation, And also, sports are good for our bodies. So naroon, may mga positive contributions ang sports at ang hobbies or yung hobbies and games natin. So ito yung makikita natin sa mundo, no? Ito yung mga categories ng hobbies and games na meron at ito rin yung binibigay, yung positively sa atin. So as we move dun sa biblical presentation ng hobbies and games, ay meron pong two camps or two extremes na pwedeng nating makita. So unang side are those who would be against hobbies and games, majority of whom do not have direct experience with gaming but are looking from the outside in. So nandun, mayroon camp, isang extreme na totally against the hobbies and games. But secondly, on the opposite end, those who excessively foster hobbies and games. So nandun yung extreme, nasa on one side, nandun yung totally against, and on the other, opposite extreme, ay naroon naman yung who excessively foster hobbies and games. But I would want to make a suggestion. So, ang hobbies and games, this is not an either-or situation. Hindi dapat na mamili lamang tayo, either we should go or not go exclusively. But we operate somewhere in between. Nasa bandang gitna, depending sa ating discernment. So this is not an either-or situation, and we operate somewhere in between. So first thing to note, bilang mga magulang, tayo, parents and guardians, we must use discernment in hobbies and games whether they are appropriate for those under our custody. Kailangan natin gamitin yung ating discernment at ang discernment na ito ay dapat founded at nandoon sa salita ng Diyos. Ito yung ating gagamitin to discern, to decide kung appropriate ba. Lalo na sa kung meron tayong inaalaga mga bata o meron nasa ating poder, kung appropriate para sa kanila ang hobbies and games na ito. We must carefully weigh in the pros and cons. So nakita natin kanina doon sa listahan ng hobbies and games, naroon mukhang positive naman at naroon nga yung positive contribution, but still we must use our discernment. Hindi naman lahat ng bagay ay pwede. But secondly, hobbies and games have different mechanics and content. Iba-iba yung paraan at yung laman at kung paano laruin o paano mag-excel o yung pinupunto ng hobbies and games natin. So we must avoid treating all in the same category. Hindi lahat ay pantay-pantay. Hindi lahat ay magkakasama na equal lang sa harapan or sabihin natin sa hobbies and games. There are those who would play Uno, yung Uno cards or yung mga other card games, but avoid yung nando sa kanan, yung 4-suited 52 card na deck. Meron na magagamit or maglalaro sila ng mga somethings na gaya ng Uno or collectible cards, pero hindi naman yung other variants ng 52 card decks. Even with those yung sa, ano ba tawag dito? Ano ba magandang term dyan? Yung 4-suited 52 card, kahit yan mismo may mga variant na hindi naman sabi natin not evil in of itself. Merong mga laro dyan na pwedeng gamitin even do sa ating mga computers as we use Microsoft, ay meron din mga free games, free cell, solitaire, na hindi naman kagaya ng poker, blackjack. So we can not treat them all the same. And a point that I would like to bring is that all hobbies or games must not be placed in the same category with gambling or appearance of evil. Now, let us clarify ano ba yung gambling. Sa Tagalog, sugal. May mga laro na kailangan mong tumaya. Kailangan mong mag-bet, mag-wager, di ba, mga ganun. With the ulterior motive na ikaw ay mag-gain with or without you using your resources or di ka expending yourself. Iba yung pagsusugal kaysa doon sa nagbabayad, sabi natin, as an entrance fee for a game or tournament, dahil alam natin na mayroong operational cost at may pambili ng mga medals and trophies and everything. At ikaw yung magtatrabaho, ikaw yung magsisikap to attain those trophies and medals. So magkaiba po yung sugal kaysa doon sa isa yung may tournament na parehas, although parehas may money out, pero yung isa po ay within the confines of legitimacy. Wherein the biblical worldview would truly condemn gambling, while yung other side ay hindi naman siya masama in of itself. So there are games that are played without financial liability. Meron rin naman mga laro na hindi kailangan ng money out, kumbaga. Ito yung isang malaking deterrent sa ating mga magulang o di kaya dun sa tao mismo na naglalaro, limiting factor ay yung kanyang money out. But not all games have that financial liability. So a lesson we can draw is that we constantly need to go back to the Word of God and frequent consultation for pastoral wisdom. Kailangan natin parati bumalik, lalong-lalo na napakalawak na ng mga games ngayon at yung mga hobbies, at it changes with time, it expands with technology at yung mga cultural norms, kailangan at balikan natin parati ang salita ng Diyos. And we can even ask our pastor, yung mga pastors, for their wisdom as we approach these hobbies and games. And a warning for all of us, none of us can predict how hobbies and games will affect us, especially in our fast-paced world. Napakabilis na mga pangyayari, na mga kaganapan, at hindi natin properly na matatansya. Siguro nung panahon ko, ang mga games pa lang sa desktop computer, kung naabutan nyo siguro yung Prince of Persia, Frankenstein 3D, mga ganon, no? Parang walang dating, lalo na sa mga bata ngayon. Wala siguro ma-addict doon sa mga games na yon, yung mga Pong, mga sa Atari siguro. Pero yung mga games ngayon, napakadali, very convenient. Hawakan lang yung cellphone hanggang maghapon na. O di kaya magla-login lang, buong maghapon na rin. So walang makapag-predict sa atin dahil nga napakabilis. That is why we need more discernment going back to the Word of God and yung ating frequent consultation for pastoral wisdom. So having said this, I would forward 3 biblical principles as our time permits. So first biblical principle, I would like to say free to and restrained by. So free to and restrained by, at I would use Romans 14 verses 1 to 3. So Romans 14 verses 1 to 3, I would read Romans 14 verses 1 to 3. As for the one who is weak in faith, welcome him, but not to quarrel over opinions. One person believes he may eat anything while the weak person eats only vegetables. Let not the one who eats despise the one who abstains, and let not the one who abstains pass judgment on the one who eats, for God has welcomed him. So while it is talking about food offered to idols, but we can extract or extrapolate some principles behind na not passing judgment. Although masabi natin sa mga mananampalataya ay walang of no value yung food offered to idols, at when we translate it or transpose it to hobbies and games, we can see as long as hindi naman sinful yung hobbies and games, ay not to pass judgment then. So hobbies and games must be recognized to be versatile. Very varied yung subjects, so yung tungkol sa yung mga hobbies and games na yon, yung fields ng hobbies and games ay napakalawak na rin, at yung applications itself ay napakalawak na rin. It is very versatile, so much so na nakikita natin yung mga effect, yung mga redemptive themes na nasa ating Biblia ay sumasalamin din sa mga hobbies and games. And a lesson that we can say is that we must distinguish and have various serious reservations about certain types of hobbies and games. Kahit sabihin natin from the surface, hindi siya sinful, we must always have serious reservations. Dahil nga hindi natin matansya kung saan hahantong, saan papunta yan. From the get-go, we must have serious reservations. They may not be inherently evil, but shield ourselves from certain themes and content. Kailangan natin ay i-shield. Kung hindi lamang tayo, pati yung mga bata o mga nasa ating poder, we must shield them from the various themes and content. Lalo-lalo na nagiging, sabi natin, mas violent yung mga games ngayon, mas nagiging outright, the more na dapat tayo maging discerning. So there are those that encourage careful thought in building, strategizing, communicating, and cooperating. Nandiyan niya halimbawa, Halimbawa, yung mga games like Tetris, di ba, naroon yung thinking natin, we organize, we plan, paano ba natin aayusin yung sitwasyon. And also yung communicating, halimbawa yung mga Pinoy Henyo, di ba, it involves communication. So naroon din at cooperation. Pero some games and hobbies are outright sinful. Halimbawa na lamang yung GTA. So Grand Theft Auto. So that's very dangerous, very outright sinful. At the moment na narinig siguro or nakita natin yung ating mga anak, ay ihinto na natin. Let us point them to why it is not right for them. But wrong attitude din regarding dito sa ating games and hobbies, wrong attitude, it is arrogance to look down on people because they are into some hobbies and games. Hindi naman po tama na maging condescending tayo dahil sabi natin, meron tayong kapatid na into those type of non-sinful hobbies and games. Yabang yun, arrogance yun. And also, it is a wrong attitude to ignore or dismiss criticisms against hobbies and games. Meron magsasabi ng mga bagay-bagay tungkol sa sabihin natin, kapatid, nakita ko, nariyan ka. May mga mababanggit at masasabi. It is a piece of advice. It is very ignorant to dismiss yung criticisms. So not only na hindi tayo dapat maging arrogant on looking down on people, but us ourselves, we must not be ignorant naman to dismiss. Parang pakinggan natin. Baka naman may punto si kapatid. Baka naman siya'y concerned para sa kabutihan ng aking kaluluwa o para do sa mga nasa aking puder. Pakinggan natin. Hindi natin dapat i-dismiss any criticism against our hobbies and games. Sapagkat nga narito tayo, lalo na sasabihin natin na tayo na kay Kristo, ay naroon ang salita ng Diyos at naroon yung mga kapatid mo na may banal na spirito, ay pakinggan rin natin sila. Baka nga meron tayong blinders. Siyempre, naroon tayo sa games and hobbies na yan, maaaring hindi natin nakikita yung iba o hindi natin nakikita ng masama yung bagay na yan sapagkat nakafocus tayo. At tayo mismo naroon na yung ating kalooban sa games and hobbies na iyan. So one case siguro para sa ating free to and restrained by na principle ay yung chess. Marami dito naglalaro ng chess at marami rin yung mga enthusiast ng chess. So chess is a board game for two players, each possessing and in control of the same set of chess pieces. Walang lamangan, parehas lamang sila ng pyesa na meron. The aim is to capture your opponent's king. And chess is one of the world's most popular games and is played by millions. Ayon nga po sa chess.com, about 57 million monthly active users playing 840 million games during the month of May 2023. So napakarami na tumatangkilik, naglalaro ng chess even do sa online format, much more yung mga nasa physical na laro na. It would be 840 million games sa isang buwan lang noong May 2023. And chess is an abstract strategy. Abstract na, pag sinabing abstract game, meaning wala naman yan tema. Wala naman sigurong drama dyan. Wala naman sigurong any plot twist. Kundi naglalaro lang yung mga tao ng chess. Huwag natin isipan ng kwento yung chess. It is an abstract game that involves no hidden information. Nakikita naman ng bawat isa yung galaw at yung board state and no elements of chance. Wala yung sabi natin, binuenas lang yung isa, tsumamba lang yung isa. But it is because of the consequences of the actions or yung mga moves na ginawa. Many aspects of art, mathematics, computer science, and psychology can be found in chess. Napakarami na aspeto. And even sa mga, siguro sa mga nagsa-psych, one of their case studies, I believe, ay yung chess. Ginagamit parati yung chess because napakadami yung aspects and applications ng chess. It originated in India around 600 or yung mga year na 600, 7th century. At hanggang ngayon, nasa 2025 na tayo, ganun man kahaba yung chess na yan, it is not a solved game. Meaning, there is no strategy that ensures victory when applied. Walang parating nananalo with that same na strategy. Isipin na lamang natin, when two players, yung player 1 sa kasi player 2, kung pareha silang strategy na in-employ, hindi naman pwedeng pareho silang panalo. But it is a very varied. No? Hanggang ngayon, isipin natin, ina-analyze pa rin at nag-expand pa rin naroon. Yung makikita natin na benefit dito sa chess. So by inference, those that are attracted to and enjoys playing chess are people that are into planning. Pinaplan nila, wala naman sigurong nag-chess under influence. Kundi meron itong planning beforehand kung paano nila mapapanalo yung laro. There are those that enjoy into computation, calculation, and planning beforehand pa. Bago pa mangyari yung isang bagay, ay gumagawa na sila ng plano and even contingencies depending sa ginawa ng kalaban. So even though there is already a fixed rule, people continually analyze the game and devise strategies. And there are deceptions. Merong mga deception dyan, yung tinatawag ng mga gambits, na hindi naman yan daya, kundi yan ay strategy pa rin. There are deceptions or gambits, but it is part of the strategy, but in no way evil of itself. Although nandoon yung gambits, hindi naman outward or hindi naman sinful yung mga gambits na yon. And no real person is captured. Wala naman talagang totoong tao na nahuhuli or sabihin natin na kinakain doon sa game. Character building through competitiveness is developed para sa mga players na ito. Patience and perseverance. Ito yung isang bagay sa competitiveness na nade-develop sa mga players. It also teaches discipline and focus. Contrast it with recklessness. Ayaw naman natin na maging reckless yung mga tao. And creativity, it fosters creativity. Naroon yung paano niya i-implement. Meron siyang grand plan at paano niya ngayon i-implement through turn-based actions. And it improves decision-making and adaptability. So kaya nag-flourish ang game ng chess dahil naroon napakaraming sangkap na maaari matutunan at ma-apply in life outside of chess. So once again, no, wag nating isipan na yung mga tao na into chess ay sabihin natin, boring yan, o di kaya very geeky. Wag nating isipan na ganun. At kung ikaw naman, kung ikaw ay sabihin natin chess ka ng chess, wag mo naman rin isipin na hindi pansinin yung sinasabi ng mga ibang tao sa'yo. Maaring chess ka na chess, wala ka na ng ibang nagawa. Kakainin mo ba yung mga chess na yan? Kundi pakinggan rin natin ang sinasabi ng iba dahil baka mamaya meron tayong nakakaligtaan dahil we are overly into, although we are free, but we might be overly into that to the detriment of other things. And that leads to the second principle, proper stewardship of time. Sa 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 23 to 24, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 23 to 24, all things are lawful, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful, but not all things build up. Let no one seek his own good, but the good of his neighbor. So ang issue dito ay what does it mean to waste time? Dahil nga proper stewardship of time and all things are lawful, what does it mean to waste time? Are hobbies and games just a waste of time? Ganito ba ang lahat ng hobbies and games? So first, hobbies and games challenge the individual in terms of their character and priorities in life. Although nariyan yung hobbies and games, pero ito yung hamon sa bawat isa sa atin na into those hobbies and games, nasaan ba talaga yung prioridad natin sa buhay? Nasaan rin ba? At ano rin ba yung character natin? What we are made of, kung tutusin. At saan natin inilalagak yung oras at panahon at meron tayong mga resources sa buhay na ito. There are hobbies and games that were created and specifically designed to waste time. Halimbawa na lamang yung Angry Birds. Angry Birds, Flappy Birds, nothing against birds, pero waste of time talaga sila. Ewan ko kung ano ba yung goal na itong games na to. But also, nandun yung bingo. I think bingo is the ultimate time waster. Bibigay sa iyo yung card, wala ka na strategy dyan kundi makinig, wala ka na rin magagawa dyan kundi pakinggan kung ano yung lalabas na numero at letra. So walang any strategy, walang any thought involved. Ang kailangan lang talaga ay yung tenga. So it is what it is, diba? So those kinds of games are totally wasting our time, wasting our energy, wasting our cell phone's energy. Magcha-charge pa tayo at tataas yung ating bill sa kuryente. But also, secondly, consider how much resources would be spent on hobbies and games as a replacement of other activities. Meron lang tayong, siyempre paglalaanan natin ng oras yan, pag tinanggal natin yan, naroon pa rin naman yung oras na yun, ano yung ipapalit mo sa oras na yan just to fill? Lahat tayo meron 24 hours sa ating buhay araw-araw. Eh kung ikay nag-google ng 10 hours sa hobbies and games, tanggalin natin yung 10 hours na hobbies and games mo, kailangan mo may something to fill up that 10 hours. Hindi naman mababawasan ng 10 hours yung araw mo. So meron ka pa rin kailangan ilagay. So do they neglect biblical responsibilities in the household, in work, in studies, or in our body? Dahil sa kaka-games natin, nakalimutan na ba natin mag-diet o mag-exercise? So do they contribute to us meaningful leisure and rest, or produces in us additional stress and excuse? Lalo na siguro kung tayo natatalo, gusto natin bumawi, next game, isa pang game, and eventually hindi na tayo nakabawi, matutulog tayong talunan. And also, in the absence of such hobbies and games, what other recreational activity might take its place? Ano ba yung meron meaningful na hindi time wasteful na ipapalit natin doon sa mga oras na iyon? Napakarami nga natin pwedeng gawin at meron nga tayong fixed na time. But we can also see that in that absence or pag tinanggal as a replacement doon sa hobbies and games, we might be more productive. So the point being is that we only have fixed number of days. Hobbies and games can lead to missed opportunities and productivity. Nariyan naman yan. Pag oras na ating inilaan yung mga panahon natin, ay hindi natin mababalikan. Walang undo, walang time travel na pabalik. Kundi, na-miss out na yung mga opportunities na yan. Could have been this, could have been that. And a lesson for this, sa proper stewardship of time, always check of the time it would take from us and the things it would teach us. Gaano ba karami yung panahon na kukunin sa atin ng mga hobbies and games na ito, at ano ba yung mga bagay na tinuturo sa atin ng mga hobbies and games na ito. So they would either bring us closer to knowing God and His holiness, or bring us closer to loving things of this world and farther from God. Hindi pwedeng parehas. Either nilalapit lang tayo sa Diyos o nilalayo tayo sa mga bagay ng Diyos. It cannot be both. So it is only an or, either or siya. So one case siguro dito sa proper stewardship of time, kung kanina sa naginamit ko ay chess, ngayon naman is a person, si John Ronald Reuel Tolkien. He was a professor at the University of Oxford from 1925 to 1945, and he is a close friend of C.S. Lewis. So more or less, same wavelength sila ni C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis, Narnia. So he spent most of his free time creating a world of his own, complete with different places, races, cultures, and things, and he was called the father of modern fantasy literature, and is widely regarded as one of the most influential authors of all time. So we can see na pinuspos yung brain cells nitong ni J.R.R. Tolkien. At na ganun pa man, marami siyang time, bagamat siya nagtuturo, marami siyang responsibilidad. In his free time, he used his free time to create something. And most probably, none of his peers in Oxford would think that Professor Tolkien is wasting his time thinking, writing, and to an extent, illustrating his masterpiece. At ang kanyang masterpiece ay ang The Lord of the Rings. So ito yung mula sa isang professor, puspos ng talino, to the point na siya ay nakagawa ng sariling mundo, sariling language even, ng mga races, cultures, and things. And none of his peers are thinking that he is wasting his time. And it is us, the succeeding generation, who enjoyed the toils of Tolkien in many different forms. Nariyan yung books, movies, and games, and some might have been inspired by him. Marami nga po yung sumunod sa yapak ni Tolkien. Marami siyang na-influence. At ngayon tayo yung nagre-reap ng kanilang mga ginawa. At isa nga po sa kakaiba, sabi natin dito sa Lord of the Rings, redemptive themes are stamped dito sa Lord of the Rings. It is also stamped on us, ang bawat isa sa atin, and are inescapable. Hindi natin matatakasan even in this fallen world, even in a humanly created world. Kahit sa mundo ni Tolkien, sa kanyang ginawa para ma-cherish ng bawat isa, naroon yung redemptive themes. Happiness, destruction, hope, and restoration. Hindi natin matatakasan sapagkat tayo bilang tao na ginawa ayon sa wangis ng Diyos at namumuhay sa bumagsak na mundo na ito, totoo ang mga bagay na ito. Sa lahat ng ating gagawin, hindi natin matatakasan ang epekto ng kasalanan, ang pangangailangan ng kaligtasan at ang kapayapaan magpawalang hanggan. And that is why our games, hobbies should have a positive value intrinsic to it. Ano ba talaga yung positive na may tuturo sa iyo ng games and hobbies na iyan from the get-go? We should cultivate the graces to bear fruit at tayo ngay dapat pa na lalo mailapit sa gawa ng Diyos, sa Diyos mismo at sa ating sitwasyon sa buhay na ito. So that would be the proper stewardship of time. We are not wasting our time for those things na wala naman siyang value, that would not draw us closer to God. At dahil nga kanina, although we have that freedom or liberty, we must also have that proper stewardship of time, and that leads us to the third biblical principle, habit of worship or worship of habit. Because we have that time, we are now using that time as a habit of worship or worship of habit. Sa 1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 4 to 5, for everything created by God is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving, for it is made holy by the word of God and prayer. So hobbies and games could take most of our time without us intentionally doing so. Hindi natin napapansin, pero napakadaming oras na pala kinukuha sa atin at yung buhay natin ay unti-unti nang umiikot sa ating hobbies and games. It develops into habits. Habits develop into devotion. Devotions develop into worship, intentional or not. Hindi man natin sinasadya, hindi man natin plano from the get-go, ngunit naroon na tayo. Nandito na tayo sa habit, into devotion, into worship. Are these habits affect our studies, our relationship with our siblings, parents, and other people, our work or things that we should be doing, our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being? Nagigiba tayong tamad, nagigiba tayong tardy, nagigiba tayong magiging sakitin dahil sa ating hobbies and games, and especially on things of God. Lalo-lalo na kagaya ngayon sa ating panambahan. Ilan siguro sa atin yung pagod, inaantok dahil sa hobbies and games natin kahapon, kagabi, kanina. Siguro meron pa rin. Ngunit kung gano'n ang ginagawa ng hobbies and games sa atin, then we should be thinking a lot about it. Hobbies and games can become our idols in the place of God. There are real dangers when we devote ourselves too much on our hobbies and games. Nandoon na yung ating habits na, devotion and worship into those habits or hobbies and games. So another case for this habit of worship or worship to habit is Catherine Elizabeth Hudson. She is an American singer, songwriter, television personality, raised by a strict family as both of her parents are into church. She always attended religious schools and camps. A truly gifted musician, and she danced gracefully. So primarily, she only listened to Christian music kasi bawal yung secular music sa kanilang tahanan. And at the age of 16, she released a gospel record. But her career was unsuccessful when she transitioned into secular music. Dahil wala nang nangyayari, nandoon unti-unti no lumalabas yung gusto talaga ng kanyang puso. nandun siya, nag-jump overboard into secular music, even with the environment na strict parents at bawal yung secular music sa kanilang tahanan. So she became successful, selling over 140 million records worldwide. Yung picture na yon, nung siya pa si Catherine Elizabeth Hudson, at ngayon siya ay si Katy Perry. So ito yung kanyang kwento. So eventually exposing her heart, habit by habit, until she became devoted to herself in showcasing her talents. Naroon naman pala yung kanyang puso. Unti-unti, very subtle, very, sabi natin, gentle lang, na naroon kumakanta siya sa kanilang church, at siya unti-unti nag-release ng gospel music. Siya ay well-trained, maraming skills na binigay sa kanya ang Diyos, but yun kanyang puso pala, habit by habit, into devotion and into the worship of self. So the point being, lalo na sa mga bata ngayon na nandito, kung naalala pa natin yung question number 2 ng Kitch Catechism, it is also question number 1 sa Westminster. What is the chief end of man? Man's chief end is to glorify God and to enjoy Him forever. So from this, we can see that the highest good of human life is that which obeys and glorifies God. Naroon yung highest good ng human life. Obey and glorify God. And the attainment of man's highest good produces his truest happiness. Doon lamang makikita yung kaligayahan, kasiyahan na isang tao sa mga bagay na kung saan nakakapagbigay ng kaluwalhatian sa Diyos sa pamamagitan ng pagmamahal sa Diyos at pagsunod sa Kanya. So we can see here, thus our games and hobbies, kinukuha ba tayo? Habit by habit, devotion by devotion, into worshiping those things. Meron tayong example dito, bagamat very strict, very controlled yung kanyang situation sa bahay. Pero ganun pa man, yung ating puso ay parating i-evaluate natin sa harapan ng salita ng Diyos at sa harapan ng banal na Diyos. So by way of conclusion sa ating lesson, our hobbies and games should not be instruments that deprive us things that are from the Lord. Halimbawa na lamang sa Psalm 127 verse 2, nabanggit doon yung tulog. Dinideprive ba tayo ng tulog ng ating hobbies and games? Or makes us to become more passive and sedentary? Sedentary yung nakaupo na lamang tayo, very passive na lamang, parang yung mundo'y umiikot sa ating upuan. Ito ba yung dinudulot sa atin ng hobbies and games natin? And to counter these things, I would like to propose 2 things. Unang-una, to renew our mind. Sa Romans chapter 12 verses 1 and 2, it says that we are to fill our mind. As individuals, bawat isa sa atin, parents and guardians, we are both responsible and accountable for the things and concepts that we ingest, yung ating pinapasok, ningunguya, yung dinadigest natin. Tayo ay responsible and accountable for those things. We are to fill our mind with the right things because it affects our overall being. Kung ano yung ating pinapasok, yun ay gagawa sa atin at yun ay makakapekto sa ating buong pagkatao. So we must fill our minds, our whole being with the right things, and those are the things of God. And secondly, reasonable care of our bodies. Hobbies man yan, games man yan, ginagamit natin ay ang ating katawan. So sa 1 Corinthians 9:24 to 27, more of it later. So it is true that it is better to be healthy than not healthy. Totoo naman, mas maganda na maging malusog kaysa sa hindi malusog. Our physical bodies are the means by which we serve God in this life. Gamit natin yung ating katawan sa ating paglilingkod. Ano mang paraan ng paglilingkod yan, it involves our body. Kung sabihin natin, tayo nagsusulat, it still involves your brain, your hands, your eyes, your ears, and your mouth. Lahat niyan, it involves our bodies. So be warned in the misplaced activities that reduce our time and energy for the things of God. Gaya na nasabi ko kanina, kung yung hobbies and games natin ay kumukuha ng mga oras na could have been para sa mga things of God, ay yan ay bumabawas sa atin sa paglilingkod, na maaari natin gawin na paglilingkod. So let us pursue training in godliness as more valuable than those for the body. Hindi naman masama yung training para sa body, Pero dapat mas i-pursue pa natin. Kung gaano tayo kasigasig para sa ating mga pangangatawan, ay dapat mas higit na sigasig ang ibibigay natin para sa godliness. And fix our eyes towards that which are imperishable and not for earthly honor. Gaano man tayo kasipag sa mundo na ito, sa ating hobbies and games. Number 1 rank ka nga dito sa something and somewhere, but when we lose our soul, even though we gain the world, ay wala yan. Those are perishable. But we must pursue and fix our eyes to the imperishable. So, moving forward, nabanggit ko 1 Corinthians 9, verse 24 to 27, ginamit ni Paul yung illustration ng mga athletes, yung sports and runners, yung Olympian. But even so, exercise self-control in all things, do it to receive an imperishable, yung hindi makukuha, hindi mapapalitan. Ang mga records dito sa mundo na ito, darating yung time na mapapalitan, may mas higit sa'yo, but you should pursue are the things that are imperishable. And let us not run aimlessly. So that is why our devotion to God and His Word must be incomparable. Hindi dapat mailapit. Higit dapat, it is beyond comparing. Parang huling tanong, anong pipiliin mo, 1 milyon o piso, o pinili mo pa rin yung piso. So something's wrong about you. So ganun siya. Dapat very incomparable yung things of God. So siguro sa time na to, tatanungin natin, Brother Jiro, kanina nasabi mo, 2 extremes. Number 1, yung totally against. At number 2, yung excessively foster. Sino ba ako para magturo sa inyo ng ganito? Kung ito yung magiging tanong natin. Ako po ay lumaki at a very early stage. Yan, lumaki ako sa arcade. Cutting classes, naging norm sa aking buhay yan. At sabi natin na tinake rin, kinuha rin. Unti-unti, habit by habit, devotion by devotion, nakuha yung oras ko dyan in pursuing to be, sabi natin, mahusay sa fighting games. And eventually, basketball, even yung basketball, ginamit na paraan para makipagpustahan. So, doon din umikot yung aking buhay. At nung college time na, nandyan yung aking So, yun, nauso yung computer games, Counter-Strike, kinuha rin yung time ko. So, in a way, no, hindi naging maganda yung effect sa akin. Kasi hindi lang kinuha yung oras ko, ginamit ko pa as a means of livelihood kung tutusin yung mga pustahan na yan. Pati naging detrimental. Siguro, no shame na rin, banggitin, na 19 units po ang aking singko dahil sa mga games and stuff na yan. But pinakamalaki naging impact sa akin ay isa sa mga hobbies ko. Yan. Share ko na lang rin paano ito naging very impactful. So, Magic the Gathering, card game siya. Yan. Grandfather, lolo siya ng mga, siguro panahon natin ngayon, mga bata, no? Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything. Pero siya yung lolo ng mga card games. So, started in 1992, but I started in 1996. Huwag niyo na pong bilangin kung ano yung edad ko. Then, it helped me to learn a lot of things. Nag-improve yung aking math, yung aking vocabulary, and everything. Ang dami na tulong naman sa akin na maganda na ito Magic the Gathering. Affected me several ways, especially during my college days. Dapat 4 yung grade ko, failure due to absences. Dahil nasa tournaments ako na Saturday. So, kakausapin ko na lang yung prof, Sir, ma'am, 5 na lang. Hindi ko ma-explain yung 4 sa aking mga magulang. Yung kasi 4 failure due to absences. Pag 5, bagsak talaga. Even so, yung 5, ay nahirapan ako explain sa aking magulang kasi hindi sila naniniwala na mahirap yung subjects. A lot of opportunities were given to me. So, nandun, nag-dedicate, na-devote ako sa game. Even to the point na, yun na siguro yung hinihinga ko. So, I excelled. Mataas yung malayo yung narating. At sabi natin, naglaro, marami rin ako nag-gain opportunities abroad, at even knowing other people, experiencing other stuff, and gaining monies. So, yun yung mga tinuro sa akin, or binigay sa akin ng Magic the Gathering. But everything changed when I knew Christ. Isa sa mga, sabi natin, roadblock or pinampukol, not only time, but kasi ang payouts sa mga high-level tournaments ay during Sundays. So, it is a choice between continue playing or worshiping God on the Lord's Day. And that would, mahirap para kung tutusin, mahirap. Kasi we're talking about 4-digit US dollars here. 4 to 5 digits US dollars here. So, mahirap. Pero in the end, pursue the things of God. So, ito po yung aking mapapayo para sa mga bata, sa mga young adults, sa mga adults, young professionals, even sa tayo bilang mga magulang, always pursue the things of God. So, any questions po? Wala, mukhang excited na mag-games. Any question? Kung nahihiya po, siguro pwede naman po lumapit sa akin. So, yun lang po, no? Ang gusto ko lamang na impart sa atin, always be discerning. Always have serious reservations. Always have that going back to the Word of God. Asking for pastoral wisdom. Lalo na kinakaharap natin, napakadami na nga ng mga games and hobbies ngayon. At tayo naman, kung we are into those games and hobbies, ay pakinggan pa rin natin yung sinasabi, laban sa games and hobbies na ito. Maaaring hindi natin nakikita kasi we are into that. Meron tayong blinders para tayong mga kabayo sa kalesa na nakikita lang yung nasa harapan. At ganun pa man, ang mga hobbies and games na ito ay dapat nakakabawas na sa stress, hindi nakakapagdagdag. At ito ay stepping stone for us to be drawn nearer to God. Nakapag-contribute sa ating godliness, hindi tumatanggal, hindi nagtatanggal ng mga oras at panahon at hindi rin nakaka-apekto ng ating relasyon sa ating mga kapatid, magulang, trabaho, lalo-lalo na sa iglesia. So, yun lang po. Siguro, let's end in prayer. Aming dakilang Diyos at mabagay Ama, nagpapasalamat kami dahil binigyan nyo kami ng pagkakataon na ganito na mula sa inyo pong probidensya na kami matalakay namin ang isang aspeto ng buhay na tunay nga laganap, lalo-lalo na rin po sa mga kabataan. At kami rin bilang mga matatanda, mga magulang, mga guardians, ay hindi po kami nawalan, hindi nyo po tinatanggal sa amin yung responsibilidad at pati rin po yung aming accountability for these little children. So we ask, Panginoon, we seek your help, we seek for your grace, for us to be more discerning, to give more warnings, and to set them in a path that knows you savingly. So help us, O Lord, that we may glorify you even when these games and hobbies are not sinful, but we may do it for the glory of your name alone, in Christ's name.